Right in front of our very eyes, there's a new revolution happening in the NBA, and this is due to the growth of the point forward position. And I feel like this season, more than any other, there's so many elite point forwards in the NBA right now, and they're flourishing. And for me, a lot of the credit goes to LeBron James for this development of the point forward position, because as soon as he came to the NBA, he was a 6'8", 6'9" player who can play as a point guard, who was the primary decision maker of the team, and he carried the offense. And we really never saw that from a player before, right? I do understand we've seen point forwards, but not to the extent of LeBron James. You look at his game, there's no glaring weaknesses in his game. He can do everything at a really high level. And for me, he is a true point forward, and he paved the way for the upcoming point forwards that I'm going to be talking about in this video. And for me, it's been very difficult to, draw LeBron James comparisons, because when I look at Michael Jordan, you can easily compare him to Kobe Bryant, right, in terms of how they played, their approach to the game. Whereas a LeBron James is much more difficult. But it would be very disingenuous of me to say that LeBron James was the first true point forward, because there was players like Scottie Pippen and Grant Hill who were the originators of the point forward position. They had size to them and they had guard skills, and they were brilliant at their time, and I'm sure that LeBron James definitely took inspiration from them. And the point forward position is more prominent than ever nowadays. I mean, you look at the screen right now, Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, Orlando have 2 point forwards, which is crazy. You look at Draymond Green, an integral part of that Golden State Warriors dynasty, and you look at Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the greatest players of all time. He's a prime example of that point forward position. And even though there are many great point forwards in today's NBA, and they might have quite a few similarities to LeBron James, they aren't LeBron James. LeBron James is a unicorn, a unique profile of player that we've never seen before and will never see again. He's a generational player, one of the greatest of all time. But there are players who are playing very similar to him, and you can definitely draw comparisons. And now that brings us to breakout point forwards in this NBA season. And where better to start than Jalen Johnson from the Atlanta Hawks? What a season he's been having. He's been improving year by year. And this season, he's definitely an all-star. And the crazy thing is, he's been playing so good that the Atlanta Hawks have traded Trae Young to the Washington Wizards for absolutely nothing, in my opinion. And they have made Jalen Johnson the cornerstone of their franchise. The numbers Jalen Johnson has been putting up this season has been crazy. I mean, every other game he's putting up a triple-double at least. He's been averaging around 24, 10 and 8 on elite efficiency. And this guy, his playmaking has completely surprised me this season. I've always known that he's been a gifted playmaker, but the repertoire of passes that this guy has in his locker has been ridiculous. And his ability to read the game, his feel for the game, his IQ has been crazy. One criticism I'll give him though is that his defense can be lackluster at times, and when you have a high workload offensively, sometimes your defense can fall, but he does have the attributes to be a great defender, so I'm not too worried about that. He's a great rebounder, he's elite in transition, and his jump shot looks good as well. He's been really good in the mid-range, he shot the 3-ball well this season as well. He doesn't really have any weaknesses in his game, and he's one of the most exciting players to watch in the NBA currently, and he's been excellent for the Atlanta Hawks. To describe his play style, he's a point forward who's elite in transition, great athleticism, he's got a complete game, he doesn't really have any glaring weaknesses, and he's a very gifted passer and playmaker. And I'm very excited to see how he progresses for the rest of the season and for the rest of his career, because Atlanta, I feel like they've built really well around him, because they've got a lot of shooters in that organization now which can space the floor for Jalen Johnson to operate. And I think we're going to see a really good version of Jalen Johnson the next couple of years, and potentially he could average a triple-double, and that puts him in the realm of Oscar Robertson, Russell Westbrook, Nikola Jokic. So the sky's the limit for Jalen Johnson. And the next guy I want to talk about is Deni Avdija, because the season he's been having has been tremendous. I mean, when you looked at him at the Washington Wizards, he wasn't really a desirable asset, but since he's come to Portland, he's really come into his own, and he's definitely playing at an all-star caliber level. And if you look at the all-star votes right now, he's above LeBron James and Kevin Durant. That is absolutely ridiculous, and it also shows how far this guy has come as a player. And his numbers have been extremely outrageous this season. He's averaging 26 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and his jump shot looks a lot better as well. And one thing about this guy is he's going to get downhill. And I saw glimpses of his ability during that Eurobasket. He played really well for Israel. He was getting to the rim. He was making his jump shots. And look, whenever players do well in Eurobasket, it normally translates to the NBA and they have a scoring explosion. You look at a guy by the name of Lauri Markkanen. Remember last Eurobasket? He was insane. And the season after that in the NBA, he absolutely exploded and became an all-star. And I think we're seeing something similar with Denny as well, because he's been so good. He just dropped 41 against the Houston Rockets the other night. He's been tremendous this season and he definitely deserves that all-star nod. His play style is very interesting because he's such a great downhill force to be reckoned with. He gets to the free throw line at an elite rate, gets a lot of free throws with the best of them, to be honest. I mean, the amount of times this guy gets to the line is ridiculous for a guy that hasn't been an all-star. You know, he's a very gifted playmaker, not as gifted as Jalen Johnson, but he does have great feel for the game. He does make his teammates better. He's a monster in transition due to his ability to get downhill, handle the ball, his size, his athleticism, his ability to finish. And once again, he has no glaring weaknesses. Can his jump shot get a bit better? For sure, but he still can make threes at a good level. So this guy has really taken a leap this season and he's definitely an all-star. The next player I want to talk about is Scottie Barnes. Obviously, Scottie Barnes has been an all-star in the NBA before, but I feel like this season he's taken another step to his game. He's been playing winning basketball. He's been aggressive. He's played an all-round game this season, and he's been a big part of why Toronto have been very successful this year. His numbers have also been very solid this season. He's been averaging around 19 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists on really good efficiency. But when I look at the steals and the blocks, that's what stands out to me. He averages 1.3 steals and 1.5 blocks per game, which is tremendous. He's really good defensively, got great size, length and athleticism. He's very disruptive on that end. And for his size to be averaging 1.5 blocks, that's very good. And out of all the point forwards I'm going to say on this list, he is by far the best defensive player. His defensive impact is crazy. And offensively, he's been really good as well. He's always been a gifted playmaker. His points per game, they've stagnated a bit for the last couple of years, but he's been a lot more efficient this year though. His jump shot looks a lot better this year, especially that 3-ball. It's been falling in this season. And he's definitely improved this year. And once again, him and Brandon Ingram have really led that Toronto Raptors team to success this season. To describe his play style, he's another point forward, really good at decision making, can handle the ball in the pick and roll, can play make, can pass, and he doesn't turn the ball over too much, which is a really good thing about him. He's an elite defender, as I previously said. He uses his length and athleticism really well on both ends of the floor, and yeah, he's a complete player once again. If he can achieve consistency with that jump shot, now that's a problem. And he definitely has the potential to, because he's shooting very well from the free throw line. Shooting over 80% from the free throw line tells me that you can shoot. So if he can work on his mechanics, if he can work on his consistency and get a better jump shot, that takes his game to a completely different level. The next player I'm going to be talking about is Josh Giddey. And Josh Giddey, he's a completely different profile of player compared to the guys I talked about previously. He doesn't have the athleticism the previous guys have, but he's very high IQ player. He's a pass-first point guard. He's got great size to him, great feel for the game. And on an every night basis, he is a triple-double threat. And this season, he's been absolutely excellent for the Chicago Bulls, especially the way he started off the season. I mean, the numbers he was putting up were, generational. They were literally Jokic-type numbers. And that was very surprising to see. He's still playing at a really good level. He's putting up all-star numbers. I'm not sure if he's going to be an all-star this year, but he definitely is in contention for that spot. And yeah, he's been really good for the Chicago Bulls this year. His numbers have been great this season. He's averaging 19, 9 and 9 on 46% from the field and almost 39% from the three, which is really good because previously the major flaw and weakness in Josh Giddey's game was his jump shot. And the fact that he's shooting almost 40% from three, that shows how much he's improved in that area of his game. And if he can keep it up, he can definitely be a problem for a really long time in the NBA. Moving on to his play style, he's got great court vision. He's got a nice little push shot that he goes to, especially when attacking the rim. As I previously said, he's a pass-first player. His jump shot has gone a lot better as well. I mean, he's shooting around 38% from three, which is very good. He's an elite passer and playmaker. He's a great rebounder, and he pushes the ball well in transition and creates, numbers advantages for his teammates to thrive. And the final guy I want to talk about is Cooper Flagg. What a rookie season he's having. Obviously, it started off slow. Jason Kidd, he wanted to play him at the point guard position and it wasn't really working. But once Jason Kidd switched him to that power forward position, this guy has been thriving. I mean, his ability to handle the ball and finish in transition, he's a very gifted finisher with his left and his right hand. He's got a really good feel for the game. He likes to make the right play. And the scary thing is that it looks like he's figured out that three ball at a very early stage because he's been very efficient from the three ball for the last couple of months. So that's a very scary sight to see from the NBA's perspective. And you add that onto his athleticism that he has, yeah, sky's the limit for this player for sure. In terms of his numbers, he's averaging 19 points, 6.6 rebounds and around 4 assists. And people are going to look at the 4 assists and be like, yo, that's not really anything. But for a rookie to average 4.3 assists is actually very impressive. That tells me he knows how to make the right reads. He's got great feel for the game. And he doesn't really turn the ball over like a lot compared to normal rookies, and he's very efficient from the field. And don't let that 3-point percentage fool you, because that 28.7 percentage, that's really representative of his struggles early on in the season. If you look at his 3-ball recently, it's been falling. And one more encouraging thing about his jump shot is that his free throw percentage is very high, which means that his form is good and he can definitely be a good or competent shooter in the NBA. Moving on to Cooper Flagg's play style, first of all, he's got elite athleticism. I mean, you can't teach that, and Cooper Flagg has an abundance of it. And that's one thing that struck me from the get-go. He's great in transition. As I said, he can handle the ball. He can finish really well. He's one of the better transition players in the league. He's a very gifted finisher, as I said. He's a gifted playmaker and he's got great feel for the game. He likes to make the right read. He plays team-oriented basketball. And my favourite thing about Cooper Flagg is his motor. He's got a very high motor. He's going to play hard. He's going to play defense. He's going to get rebounds. He's going to do the little things that help you win. And this is a big factor for me because not everybody has a high motor and it's a very difficult thing to teach. But Cooper Flagg naturally has that. And to finish off the video, the NBA is in a very good place in terms of the position of the point forward. There are so many in the NBA right now that are thriving and playing at an all-time or all-star level. I look at LeBron, Giannis, Zion, Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, Denny, Cooper Flagg, Josh Giddey, Scotty Barnes, Jalen Johnson, Julius Randle, Pascal Siakam, Jalen Williams, Kevin Durant, Brandon Ingram, Jaylen Brown, and I'm pretty sure there's more as well. That's how stacked that point forward position is. And some players are more traditionally a point forward compared to others. But everybody on this list does have point forward abilities and do play that position at some extent or level. So yeah, it's been very interesting to see the trend and the direction the NBA has gone in the last couple of years. And I feel like the point forward is the next trend and the next popular position that a lot of players are going to lean into. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the NBA fares the next couple of years. Is it still going to be point forward orientated or is it going to move in a different direction? Well, that's a question that we have to figure out in due time. Thank you guys for watching the video. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and peace.